All right. I want to have a conversation with you right now. Do you second guess yourself when you need to share the truth with somebody? Because it might hurt them, right? The truth can be painful. It can be uncomfortable. Many times it can be not fun, right? If that's you, then boy, are you in the right place, right? And if you believe you're already doing that, then this will be powerful for you, okay? My name is Jim Padilla, right? And I'm going to share with you a couple of mindset mishaps around the concept of truth telling, okay? And then I'm going to give you 5 simple steps to overcoming it, right? So as many of you know, I'm a sales expert, right? I influence, scale, and leverage is the world that I live in on a daily basis. Our sales team has hundreds and thousands of sales conversations every month, right? From phone to phone, voice to voice on the phone, face to face in live events, online chats, numerous different strategies. But here's the key thing that we see as an overwhelming, growing trend. It used to be pretty commonplace, and then sales got systematic. It's all about follow the system, tactics, strategy, keys. Here's what you have to do. But then we've gotten away from the art of truth telling, right? People don't buy products, they buy people. And the truth sells. Simply put, the truth sells. Why? Because we're wired to deliver and receive it. We are created to be engaged with each other, with nature, with our Creator, and with the truth. The truth is central to what we need to accomplish as people. When we are in the truth, we are magnetically drawn to the truth, to a true message. So how many times have you been told something that you needed to hear, but didn't want to hear, but you were drawn to it? Because it's the truth. It was loaded with truth, or even if it had a hint of truth, it should at least put you in a place where you're searching inward for where's the rest of it. Okay? We are created for that. We're wired for the truth, right? When the truth is speaking, we are compelled by it, right? Even if we don't like what it's saying. Many times you might get angry, frustrated, leave the room, hang up the phone, but you're going to go back to it. Right? What you do, how you engage is going to determine the success of the opportunity that you were just presented with or shared about. All right? Often we need to run from it and be angry at first, but eventually we come around to it, or we get beat up with the lesson of not following and engaging the truth. Okay? What we find is that the more we share the truth from a place of compassion and understanding, right? The truth and love, the more the other person needs it is powerful, right? Here's the problem, that the problem that comes in 2 typical forms when it comes to the way we engage the truth from a deliverer. Okay, we often get confused. This is important. We often get confused that trying to pound a message into somebody and be heard is what we're trying. We need them to hear this, as opposed to getting clarity and making sure that they actually hear. It's not as important as what you're saying as it is what they're receiving, what they're hearing. So it's our job to ensure the right message is going out, right? It's up to them what they do with it, right? Which leads me to the other point. Here's the other problem with the mental mishap around delivering truth, right? We incorrectly carry the responsibility of how it is received. Okay, I know this sounds a contradiction, what I just said. You can only share the message and ensure that it was heard correctly. Your job is to ensure that what you're saying is what they're hearing. It's not up to you to decide how they receive it. They might reject it altogether. They might fight it, argue it. It might not be where they want to be. The rest is up to them, guys. Your job is to deliver it and ensure that they heard it the way you said it. And then it is up to them. You cannot control what I do with the message that you share with me. Right? It was just an interview this morning, and we're talking about the concept of truth-telling conversations. It is like being in a mirror. If you stand in front of the mirror and you've got green in your teeth, your hair's messed up, and your fly is down, the mirror is going to share with you all of that. It's not going to sugarcoat it. It's not going to hide it. It's not only going to tell you what it thinks you can take in. It's going to share with you, hey, guess what? Your teeth are green. your fly is down, and your hair looks jacked up. Now it's up to you what you do with it. The mirror cannot control if you go brush your teeth, if you zip up your fly, if you fix your hair, if you do anything. Its job is to deliver the truth. That's you, the truth vessel. Okay? So here's the 5 keys. Here's 5 simple steps to be able to solve that, to help our perspective in not overstepping and not trying to be responsible for what they do with the truth. Okay, which is what typically keeps us from telling the truth, right? In addition to the simple fact that we want to be liked. That's a whole nother video, another day. I apologize for the distortion. I see it keeps getting blurry there. So here's 5 steps. Step number 1, be crystal clear with yourself first that you have no agenda besides achieving clarity with the other person. Oh, of course, that's what no. I mean, really. Don't act like you don't. Try to. I want you to check in with yourself and don't go, yeah, I'm already doing that. Look at how you can do it better. Okay, don't tell yourself you have this down if you don't. And this is not a once and for all situation. It's a consistent journey of self-discovery. Right? I'll keep names out of it, but I talk with a lot of industry leaders, and I hear this phrase a lot. Oh, my people are trained. My team is trained. I have a fundamental disagreement with that statement because it speaks to finality, and it speaks to the fact that when you think your team is trained, that means you've put a ceiling on them, right? Our team is never done training, right? You always have to be looking at that. And the same thing with this. If you think you've got this down, that's a problem because it could creep up. This is not, I figured this out. This is a daily check-in. Some days you're feeling vulnerable and weak. Right? So you need more approval to feel complete. If you're not checked in all the time, I don't want to show up on this call having the agenda of being served because I need everybody to like me and approve this. I need to show up knowing that I am here to serve you first and foremost, even if it means the result is you don't like me because of the message I shared. Okay? So get clear that the only agenda on your plate should be helping them reach clarity. Right? Number 2, make an agreement with yourself that you will start asking the questions when they arise. Okay, Tony Robbins says, "If I can't, I must." Right? I have a contract with myself, literally a written contract that I wrote a couple of years ago, that if I have to ask myself, should I ask this question? I now must ask this question, and I have found immense reward on the other side of that. Usually, it leads to something great, and we usually resist because we don't want to hurt somebody, upset somebody, and it really comes down to a place of just not being comfortable with the truth ourselves, right? So make an agreement with yourself that you won't get off the phone and go, oh man, I should have said this. I should have said that. Just when it comes up, you need to ask it. And you'd be amazed. I want to hear from you. I'd love to hear from you if you're applying this, how it really impacts your conversations, what changes you see. Right? You'll see drastic change. Right? Number 3, be sure to imagine the least desired outcome first. So this is visualization, but visualization starts with the opposite. Right? Visualization is usually about what's the greatest outcome we can have. I want you to think about what's the worst outcome you can have. If I share the truth, what's the worst thing that can happen? And can I live with that? Usually you're going to find out the worst thing is not that bad and it's not going to kill you. So once you know that, now you can stop the fear of should I share it? Okay, then think through the possible outcomes and have a place for them to land wherever they go. This is important, right? Whatever question you ask, you need to think through ahead of time. Give intentional forethought to how this might impact them. What's the potential outcome if I go here? If I ask them and they say yes, I could take them here. If they say no, don't just leave people stranded. You're now asking questions that are speaking to the core of an issue. And it's going to open things up. And you need to make sure that even if it's something you can't solve directly, you have an introduction, somebody you can send them to, a resource you can give them, right? It's your responsibility to provide the safe environment for somebody to be able to receive. Again, it's up to them what they do with it. But if you know that you're likely to lead them someplace that could be risky, it's your job to make sure there's something you can do about it, even if it's outside your personal skill set. Okay? Number 5, write this down, all caps, big, bold. Share the truth as it comes and always bring it from the heart. Always bring it from the heart. The most the strictest, the straightest, the harshest messages, if you deliver it with love, and if you've already created that rapport and that bond where they know that you're about their best interest, they'll receive it. They'll receive it. There's a much greater likelihood of them receiving that than you just trying to land something to make points. Share the truth as it comes and make sure it's always from the heart, right? I know some of this may seem unreasonable or even difficult, right? And you might think you're already doing it. I'm asking you to try this anyway. And if you think you're already doing this, see how you can take it to another level, right? And then please let me know how it goes, right? I'd love to hear if you're already working on this. I would love to hear what you think about this. You want to call BS on me? You got any challenge with this? If this is stirring anything up inside of you, and I really apologize for the blur on this. I'm not a technology specialist. I'm a sales specialist. So work with me on that. Gosh darn it. There we go. All right. So remember, the truth will set you free. Okay. And go change some lives. We'll talk soon.